Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we're here with more Gran Turismo 7. This time around, I don't know who's making these choices over at Polyphony. We're racing the 1970 Citroen DS21 around, I think it's the Lago Maggiore East End, which of course, as everyone knows, the East End of any city is always the best, so I'm sure that's the same for this circuit here today. If you're new around here, make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel, trying to hit 10k subs on this channel at the moment, but this thing's got 100 horsepower and it weighs 1,300 kilos. It's incredibly slow. It's probably going to end up a bit like the Honda Jazz race we did a few weeks ago, where we're going to be 2-3 wide and it's just going to be chaos because it's all about maintaining as much momentum as you possibly can. Lap times, I'm aiming to get close to a 1 minute 0. The best I've done is a 1 minute 1.1, so fingers crossed we can try and get close to that, but yeah, let's just see what happens again. Well, qualifying done and dusted then, only able to get a 101.3 there, so not particularly happy with the time I've ran. Of course, it will be very, very fine margins, as you would expect, around a track like this, and the slipstream is going to really come down to it. But, yeah, a bit weird as well as you head out onto the back straight, I suppose we're calling it, that you could just run as far wide as you like there. There doesn't seem to be any track limits at all, so just trying to make sure that you dab the brake on the way in and then just don't hit the grass on the way out seems to be the fastest line. But looks like we're starting 6th place then. Here for a 12-lap race, so going to be quite a short one here from Autodromo Lago Maggiore. I'm always butchering that name, I'm sure. But yeah, let's hope that we don't get absolutely wrecked. Right, oh, I've got to make sure I keep my foot on the brake, get the traction control off. No! Why am I in reverse? No! That's going to be the worst start I think I've ever had on Gran Turismo 7 then. I don't know why that happened. As we head down in towards Turn 1, I may have already lost 1 place because of it. Oh, that is beyond appalling to start this race. Oh, well, I've clicked the wrong buttons again. I'm getting all my buttons muddled up. I apologise. The AI's literally just put me into that guy in front. That's got to be the worst start I think I've ever had there, as I've actually picked up some rear end damage as well in all of the commotion. I think I have my hazard lights on. That's what was annoying me as we head down in towards this tricky little corner there. We'll actually try and do the old up and under on P7 then. But yeah, that has not been the ideal start that we needed then to this race. It looks like we've kind of got like a gap of 6 cars at the front there that have already been able to pull out of the slipstream range. We'll try and slot back in front of this guy. Hopefully we can try and work together to get a little bit closer again. I mean, really, this corner kind of defines whether you're having a good lap or a bad lap here. As you can see, still side by side in front of me as we head up the hill out of the final corner. Slipstream does definitely still seem to be a thing in this car, but of course they are very, very slippery, as you can see at the rear end. In terms of aerodynamics, that is, not in terms of handling or feel. They're just very, very old and very, very underpowered, as we'll try and have a look at the inside of this guy. At Turn 1, apparently he's just going to try and slam the door on me. I felt like we made it fairly clear there, that's what we were going for, and he did just suddenly decide once I'd gone for it that he cut across, so we'll try and slot back in down the hill, but yeah, it is going to be a tough, old, interesting race here, of course. Like I said, you can just do that every time through that corner. It looks like the top 2 have already checked out at the front of the field, so could be just a battle for the podium then, apparently today, as we head back down the hill towards the end of lap 2. is a Frenchman in that car, so I'm sure he'll want to be doing it for patriotic reasons to try and get a good result. That's not going to do him any favours though, so we'll try and do the odd up and under off of the corner. Of course, it's so much about just keeping the momentum up in these things. Short lines and keep momentum up is the best way of handling these sorts of cars there, as we are now back up to where we started. Got a little bit of a gap then to the next two in front of us, but yeah, I feel like I have actually got some decent pace in this car. Like I said, you know, there are some differing lines that people are trying to take, so just trying to work out what works for you is quite important, but I'm trying to go for as many straight lines as I possibly can, because, you know, even sort of 5 feet shorter can have a big difference in these sorts of cars. So as that is not the line through there, we'll try and get it back over towards the circuit, but you can do rallycross in these things, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to say that at some point and pick up a penalty, aren't I? So there we go, Frenchman trying to look back down the inside again. Still with those 4 cars in front duking it out. So we'll go side by side through here, try and use the camber. Oh no, just ran a little bit wide though. Scrubbed off too much speed off the corner. We're going to be side by side as we head up the hill, back up towards the start-finish line. We've got to try and keep the car on the inside. We've got to try and open up turn 1 as best as possible. Hopefully that'll be enough to see us slotting back through, which we will just about. Able to defend the place for now then. Hopefully we won't get a track limits penalty. So I can see that. Oh, come on. Just going to get muscled out off the corner. Hopefully that's a penalty for the Frenchman. As we've got 2 Frenchmen that have gone past us, and now I'm just getting muscled back down the order there. We've got a Portuguese guy who's going to try and look for it, I think, into here. You can't take that line surely through there. There's taking curb, and then there's just completely... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, might get away with it. Who knows? It looks like we've actually got the run around the outside of the Portuguese driver. But yeah, this one is probably going to be quite a frustrating race, as Frenchman, yeah, picks up another 1 second penalty. The other Frenchman up the road. How many times have I said that? It seems to have broke free though, which is rather annoying for us there, as someone's honking the horn. That is very annoying. Seems to be more carnage and chaos up the road though, as again another Portuguese driver left stranded as he tries to make his way up the hill. We get round the outside. Again, this guy should lose the position as well, thanks to that 1 second penalty. I really don't know what is the best line to take round there, in terms of what works and what doesn't, as here we go, 1 second penalty will now be served, which should be able to get the speed down the hill. Thank you. Up into P5 then, sorry, P6 even. So this is still definitely the battle for, it's battle for P2 now, so no idea what's gone on, as I got no idea whether I can get away with that much curb through there. I mean, look at this. It's just people adoring each other for the sake of it. This is when combos really... I don't know whether this classifies as works or not, to be honest, as they're still leaning on each other through the first couple of corners. I'm going to try and get back up and underneath the Frenchman, so we will get back to the inside. Mate, come on, I'm there. You can't just keep turning in on me, even though I was literally alongside him, and then he started turning across me through that first, well, proper corner, I suppose, first braking zone. There's only about 3 braking zones on this lap, and this one doesn't really count for much either. I mean, you just see how quickly a couple of cars are able to break free when someone does do something like that. So we'll try and get a nice run down the hill, potentially have a look at the inside of this guy, and also just how quickly these races can turn as well, as this guy's going to try and sit defensive. Might try and hook it up right around the outside there, do the old up and under through the corner. He's actually got quite a nice hooked up line though that time round. We will try and get the speed though up the hill. Shortest run, like I said, back up towards the start finish line, and hopefully we can try and slip all the way past him. So you head back down in towards someone. I'm going to have to try and turn in. Yep, we have got all the way through. So that's another place gain then, up into P4. But again, this is the feisty Frenchman, so I'm expecting to get absolutely lunged into here. Nope, got away with it that time. Nope, he's going to pump me again, isn't he, of course. Why not, eh? As, again, it's going to compromise us both up the hill. He just doesn't quite seem to be able to understand how this should work between us. You know, we could work together and be in the battle for a podium, but no, he's more adamant on sending me to the shadow round, it would appear. Let's try running away then, see if that works for us. As again, we'll lock the wide line out of there. 3 laps to go then. In P2 and P3 are still having an absolute ding-dong of a battle as we head up the hill. And we've now suddenly, I mean, you just see one side-by-side moment can really cost you a lot of time there as we're trying to head back up around the outside in towards turn 1. It's giving me a big old squeeze, but we'll try and hook it up right the way around. Away, come on. We're definitely a bit weak through this next braking zone, but on the inside should be able to defend myself. Let's see again, the Frenchman behind just really tries to get his way in. I don't know if you can take that much curb there. That might have been a little bit risky to do that, but hopefully we can leave these two to squabble just behind me, as that was definitely way too early on the upshift. I know it might only be a mile an hour, but it really does make a big difference in these cars there. As you can just see, Frenchman behind has muscled his way through, the Swiss driver in front just trying to break free in the process. Let's see if we can try and get back within that range. It's so easy to gain time when two cars are battling. When it's just two cars driving, very, very difficult to do so. So no, that's way too wide through there. That's going to allow the Frenchman a golden opportunity. Got to just try and pinch him as much as possible, or that might have been a bit more touring car-esque as we head back up towards the start-finish line, but I do not want to lose to this guy. Yes, this is now personal, as I want to see what line he's taking through here. 2 laps to go of this race. He's braking early. That's definitely not the line he has been taking, to be honest, as he actually scrubbed off a lot of speed off the corner, but the Swiss guy's messed it up even worse. So we are both closing in on him. Is it worth trying to barge the Frenchman into a battle and then try and take them both, or is it worth just trying to take the Frenchman? Difficult decisions late on in the day. I think we've got to try and muscle him into the battle, get those two squabbling, and then try to pick them both off in one go there. Guy behind the Spaniard definitely struggling, dropping back a little bit further. Just try to drag the speed into the corner there. Make sure you've got the nose tipped in enough though that it's nice and easy on the exit. And now, are we going to see the Frenchman get closer? I'm not convinced we will. It might have to be a lunge in towards that corner on the final lap. So bring us back in unless the Swiss guy makes another mistake. You can just see, I mean, track limits have really gone out the window in this combo. I don't know sort of what Polyphony have decided they are today, but they're not really working, at least in my eyes. Frenchman is right there though, but we've again got a good run off of the corner here. It's one of those battles where you don't really want to be the car in front because you're worried you're just going to get absolutely dive-bombed. So we head though, 2 more corners to go. It's the interesting kind of racing that Gran Turismo is teaching us at the moment. That is incredibly wide though. I'm sure I'll not get any room on the exit. Yes, we somehow will. Down around the outside. Let's see if we can try and get a run down the hill, or whether we're both going to get close enough to the Swiss driver. I'm not convinced we will be. I think he's just about done enough for P2, but I've got to go up and under. Not sure I'm going to get the chance to though. Oh, we will get back underneath him off the corner, but it's not going to be enough. I think he's just about done enough. Their shortest run up towards the line. It is going to be hundredths of a second between us. But no, it's only P4 by 88 thousandths of a second there. Come the checkered flag. And, well, that's the second podium near miss I've had today. Of course, if you watched that in the NASCAR Cup Series video, although I did earlier on, I came P4 there as well by less than a tenth of a second. P4 is apparently just my number in sim racing nowadays, it would appear in 2023, but thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We will take that though, from P6 on the grid.